Hi, my name is Mathieu Gawit. Welcome to my series, The Road to SAS Global Forum to 2020. This is episode 3. This is something I wanted to talk about some time ago, but I could not find the link again. Fortunately, I reached out to someone from SAS and they managed to get me the information. So I'm doing this episode. Um, First of all, I wanted to bring back the last day at which you can send the submission for the call for content of next year. So it's September 30th. So by the time I'm recording this, it's still a little more than a month ago. It might seems like a far away, long time from now, but times really fly, especially in September. So if you got something you would like to talk about, make sure to start working right away on a little brief text describing what you want to, what you want to write about. This is the abstract. You can watch one of my previous episodes if you want to get a little more details about abstract, how to write them. Um, what I wanted to talk about is the popular topics at the conference. So this is the list of 10, probably 10 top 10 sessions from last year in terms of popularity. So when we look at this, my first surprise when I saw this initially was seeing, I don't know if it's in order, but even if it's not in order, seeing cool proc SQL tricks ranked 1, and also 10, Beginner's Guide to Arrays and Do Loops. So these are really basic, base SAS uh, programming tricks, probably most likely. So, it's something that could probably have been given a few years back. So I'm really happy to see some topics like this that comes over and are really popular amongst the users. We also see statistical topics like the second one, end-to-end modeling and machine learning in SAS Via, and also how to be an effective statistician in position 4. Um, Also another base topic, the getting the most out of SAS macro language and proc SQL. What I really enjoyed myself seeing in that list was position number 5, data governance, harder, better, faster, stronger. It's actually something I'm gonna be covering, in my talk next year. So I decided to go the data governance way. I'm I've I've been doing mostly administration talks in the last few years, and for me it's easier because there's not a whole lot of talks on the topics. So it's only been a few years that people have started talking about this at the conference. So I guess there's much more room for originality. So it's easier to get something special out there. So that's the angle I decided to go this year. It's also it's also good to see people getting catchy names like number 7. Let Leonardo da Vinci inspire your next presentation. So definitely, it's something you should play with. If you can come up with a catchy name, I'm really bad at it personally. Usually, I don't get catchy names for my article. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm trying too hard to be really serious about it and have a kind of a more classic way of writing this. But definitely these things people like. Make sure though that it's not misleading. I've had a few years back bad experiences with presentations where there was a catchy name and the presentation was not really what it was kind of advertising to be. So make sure you're not misleading people that might be interested in your presentation. But otherwise, catchy names are a really good thing. We also see a lot of VIA, so we have vie in position 2, vie in position 8. Um, there's also, again, some statistical stuff with position 9 using text analytics. So there's a lot of possible angles, a lot of possible topics you can present, and these could be sort of a guideline if you can pick something, amongst these topics. It's obviously something that is has better odds of being popular. um, there's also a lot of other factors. You shouldn't feel bad if your topic is either not taken, or if when it comes to presenting, the room maybe is only at 20% capacity. I've had this, and funny enough, it was for the same presentation because I presented one talk two times. At the first time, uh, it was maybe, I don't know. It's hard for me to remember exactly, but I think the room maybe was half full. I was still really pleased because it was the first time I was presenting then. And then the following year I presented that same talk again. I've Just to make a long story short, I've asked to get a 50-minute time to present on the topic, and I was given only 20 minutes, which was exactly the same time as the time I got the year before. So I could not go more in depth like I wanted to do initially. So I just ended up presenting the same thing the second year. And the second year I presented, the room was actually packed. So it really depends. SAS Global Forum is going, one city, to another, sometimes across the country, the United States. So the reality of people going to the conference can change from a year to another. But also, there's the schedule itself. Maybe there's a well-known speaker presenting at the same time somewhere else. So there's a lot of factors. You never really know, but there's always going to be people at your presentation regardless. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about these 10 points because they're they're good topics. It kind of give you an idea of where you can go. If you don't have any idea, maybe just going through this list will help you. So just before finishing, I'd like to give props to Lisa Mendes. This is taken from our blog written on August the 2nd. So yeah, feel free to take any topics in there. If you have a topic of your own, then sure, go ahead. It's always worth proposing, topics that aren't there, because obviously, like data governance, I've seen the list from the year before, and data governance was not there at all. So it really changes from one year to another, and your topic that could be in the top 10 might not be in that list already. So go ahead with your own topic as well. So thank you again. This was probably a shorter episode. I want to finish submitting. I want to finish tweaking my abstract, and then submit it. And then after, I'd like to review it on a future episode, and kind of guide you through my process of writing that abstract. It will most likely be next week because I want this to be available early enough that people that want to use that knowledge to write their own abstract have enough time to do it before the end of the call for paper period. So thank you again, and feel free to write in the comment section below any questions you might have, or comments. If there's anything you'd like me to talk about, or things I could improve, go ahead. Thank you, and have a nice day.